real quick. I like to do deep dives, put on the scuba gear, get on the oxygen tank. I just figured every time I watch Michigan, and our number one Wolverine fan who listens every week, Justin, will appreciate this. I know he's not under the radar for those in that part of the country, but in the Southeast, we all tend to be a little bit parochial at times in our viewing. Like we know who the quarterbacks are, and we know about Harbaugh. We know Michigan is good again this year. And by the way, the playoff tonight is going to be. Let me save you the suspense. It's going to be Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, and TCU 4. Okay, now we can move on from that subject line. But Blake Corum, every time I watch Michigan, I see this little running back, and I stress little, as he looks so tiny and he's just dominating games. Blake Corum now is a legitimate Heisman candidate. So I wondered, like, okay, what was the story behind Blake Corum? I've seen this dude, number 2 in the maize and blue, just dominating games. What's the deal? Well, he's 5'8". That's what they list him at, 210. He went to high school in Baltimore, Maryland, St. Francis Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a USA Today All-American. He actually grew up in Marshall, Virginia before playing ball there in Baltimore. His freshman year didn't do much. Again, it was COVID year. He played in 6 games. He had 26 carries, blah, 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 blah. But then people were like, oh, you just watch. He's going to have a breakout year in 21. And he did. He ran for 952 yards. Through 8 games, he's already over 1,000 yards this year, and he's averaging over 6 yards a carry. He has been special. He had 243 against Maryland. That's the most since Denard Robinson ran for 258 against 2010. There's a name for you. We just don't look at running backs the same way when it comes to the Heisman Trophy award. And I'm a Heisman voter, and I try to stop myself from just falling in love with nothing but quarterbacks. I am in love with Blake Corum in terms of his ability. And if Michigan beats Ohio State and that kid puts up an A-plus performance, he's definitely going to get some votes. So Blake Corum, you are no longer under the radar on JC and Morgan. You have gotten your proper spotlight.